Hello, good morning dear students. Welcome to another session of Management Accounting. Today we are going to start with example number 11 of our textbook, Arpit Limited, on page number 86. So just read the question. We have given the balance sheet of 2 years, right? Up till now the balance sheet was just of a single year. Now the balance sheet of 2 years are given. Starting from equity share up to preliminary expense, equity preference P&L account, reserve debentures, workers profit sharing fund, bank overdraft, creditors, bills payable and outstanding expense. On the asset side we have fixed assets, stock, debtors, bills receivables, prepaid expense, cash and bank and preliminary expenses. So prepaid expenses are the current assets and preliminary expenses are the fictitious asset. Additional informations are given. Total sales into bracket cash sales are 1/5 of credit sales. Gross profit and net profit before interest and tax is given. And opening stock on 1/4/2006 is also given. From the above information, calculate the following accounting ratios for both the years. બે years માટે તમારે calculate કરવાનું છે, right? So previous example કરતા આ example માં એક જ difference છે. Previous example માં ખાલી single year ની information હતી. Here the informations of 2 years are given. So whenever the informations of 2 years are given, at that point of time you need to calculate the ratio of both the years, right? So starting with the first ratio, net profit ratio. For that we need net profit, right? So we have given the earning before interest and tax. So we have completed the statement from EBIT to divisible profit because we are also asked to find out earning per share. So for earning per share we need divisible profit too, right? So we have started from EBIT and ended to divisible profit. So EBIT 1,90,000 and 3,36,500. So this is for 2007 and this is for 2008. Next, interest on debentures. So debentures, 10% debentures are given in the example. In 2007 it is 1 lakh and in 2008 it is 1,25,000. So 10,000 and 12,500. So remaining amount is called profit before tax. Now deduct 50% tax from this. So remaining amount is called your profit after tax, which is nothing but your net profit. By deducting preference share dividend from this profit after tax, we get our divisible profit. So for net profit consideration we need to take this profit after tax. So net profit ratio, just place the formula of net profit. In the year 2007 net profit is 90,000 and sales 12 lakhs. And in 2008 profit after tax 1,62,000 and 18 lakhs into 100 into 100. So calculating 90,000 divided by 12 lakhs. So that is 7.5% and 1,62,000 divided by 18 lakhs, that is 9%, right? So in the previous year the gross profit ratio was 7.5%, net profit ratio was 7.5%, and in the current year the net profit ratio is 9%. जो comparison પૂછી હોય, so current year ની position company ની better છે than previous year. Now current ratio, so for that we require current asset as well as current liability. So first working current asset given in the example, stock, debtors, bills receivables, prepaid expense and cash. Okay, prepaid expense is your current asset but preliminary expense is your fictitious asset. तो અહીંયા ખાલી prepaid expense જ લેવાના. So 2007 no stock, debtors, bills receivable, prepaid expense and cash. Total of all of them is 1,50,000. Same for the year 2008. Whenever you are considering 2008, take the column of 2008 only. So stock, debtors, bills receivables, prepaid expense and cash. So current asset of the year 2008 is 1,70,000. Now same way, current liability. Current liability will include workmen's profit sharing fund, bank overdraft, creditors, bills payable and outstanding expense. All these details are given in the example. So current liability of 2007 is 1 lakh and 2008 is also 1 lakh. So placing all such things in the proportion, in the ratio. So 1,50,000 current assets divided by 1 lakh, and here 1,70,000 is to 1 lakh. So here it is 1.5 is to 1 and here it is 1.7 is to 1, right? So this is the answer of current ratio, 1.5 is to 1 and 1.7 is to 1. Third one, return on capital employed. So formula EBIT upon capital employed. EBIT is directly given, so nothing else to be taken more. Capital employed, equity plus preference plus P&L plus reserve plus debentures minus preliminary expense. P&L account given in the balance sheet is considered as your reserve. This is the undistributed profit of the last year, which is also considered as your reserve. So that is also to be taken into consideration while calculating capital employed. So capital employed formula for this example will be equity share, preference share, P&L account, reserve, debentures minus preliminary expense. So by totaling all such, we get the capital employed of the year 2007 5 lakhs and same for 2008 6,25,000. So 5 lakhs and 6,25,000. So I am just placing those in a denominator, 5 lakhs and 6,25,000. EBIT is directly given in the example. So EBIT for the year 2007 is 1,90,000 and for the year 2008 is 336,500 into 100 in both the cases. So let us make the calculation. 1,90,000 divided by 5 lakhs into 100. So that is 38%. And next is 336,500 divided by 6,25,000. So 53.84%. So this is the answer of return on capital employed. In the year 2007 it is 38% and in the year 2007-8 it is 53.84%. Now next, debtors ratio. Under that it is specifically given, take 300 days for the calculation. So here credit sales is missing. The information is given, cash sales are 1/5 of credit sales. Okay, so by using the same information we are going to calculate the credit sales. So 1/5 means that is 20%. So 20% ने केम लखाई 20 divided by 100, so that is 0.2. So suppose credit sales is X, so cash sales will be 20% of this X, means 0.20x, right? So formula cash sales plus credit sales equal to total sales. So credit sales is X, cash sales is 0.2x and total sales for 2007 is 12x. So by solving this equation we get the credit sales of the year 2007 10 lakhs. Same way we need to place all these details for the 2008. X plus 0.2x equals to 18 lakhs, right? So credit sales for 2008 is 15 lakhs. So now calculating the debtors ratio for 2007. Debtors are 60,000 plus bills receivables 2,500 divided by credit sales of 2007, 10 lakhs into 300. So that is 18.75, means 19 days, right? Next, for the year 2008, debtors 65,000, bills receivables 7,500, and credit sales 15 lakhs into 300. 65,000 plus 7,500 divided by 15 lakhs into 300. So that is 14.49 days or 14.50 days, that is 15 days. Okay, so debtors ratio for the year 2007 is 19 days and debtors ratio for 2008 is 15 days. So in this also the condition of the current year is better, because it takes 19 days to collect the amount from debtors in the previous year, and in the current year the amount is collected within 15 days, right? So this is the answer of debtors ratio. Next, stock turnover ratio, formula COGS upon average stock. So we need to find both of them, COGS as well as average stock. So formula of COGS, sales minus GP. So sales is also given and gross profit is also given in the example, right? So sales minus GP for 2007 is 12 lakhs minus 4 lakh 80,000. So that is 7 lakh 20,000, and 18 lakhs minus 6 lakhs 40,000. So that is 11 lakhs 60,000, right? So this is your COGS for 2007 and 8. Now average stock formula, opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. So opening stock of 2007, which is given in the example, that is on 1/4/2006, so that is 69,000. Closing stock of 2007 is given in the balance sheet, 75,000 divided by 2. So 69 plus 75 divided by 2. So that is 72,000. And opening stock of 2008 will be the closing stock of 2007 only. So 2007's closing stock will be the opening stock, and closing stock of 2008 is given in the balance sheet, 90,000. So next, 75 plus 90 divided by 2. So that is 82,500. So both the informations are there with us. We just need to place them in a formula. So for 2007, COGS is 7,20,000 and average stock is 72,000. So here the answer is 10 times, and here it is 11,60,000 divided by 82,500. So that is 14.06 times, means approximately 14 times. Okay, so this is the answer of stock turnover ratio for this year. Next and the last one, earning per share. So for that we require divisible profit and number of shares. Here one information is missing in the balance sheet, equity share capital each of ₹100 or ₹100 each, that information is missing. So just add 100 rupees each equity share capital in question, right? So this information is missing, but whenever the face value of equity share is not given in the example, at that point of time we need to assume 10, but here 100 is not printed, so number of shares will be 3 lakhs divided by 3000 in case of 2007 and 4 lakhs divided by 100, that is 4000 shares for 2008. So divisible profit we have already calculated here. So 85,000 and 157. And divided by number of share, here it is 3000 share. How it has come? 3 lakhs divided by 100 rupees each. So earning per share is divided by 3000. So it is 28.33 rupees, not in percentage, rupees 28.33. And here one lakh 57,000 divided by 4,000. So 39.25 rupees. So this is the answer of your earning per share for this example, right? A very simple example. Do as directed. Whatever is asked in the question, you just need to follow that only. Okay? So simple example kahi shakai. Now for homework or for practice, I am assigning certain examples of your textbook. So you can calculate example number 20.